Hey gang, it's Leila here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. First up, we've got Captain America White #0. This is by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This series basically explores the early adventures of Cap and Bucky, and specifically in this issue we see some of the origin of Bucky's story. This was only okay for me. If it starts to reveal some new information that might be relevant to the current Bucky story in Captain America, then maybe I could see the point of it, but other than that it's just sort of like a retelling of what we already know. But it is a nice book to look at, so if you like Cap and you like Tim Sale, pick it up. Next up we've got Final Crisis Requiem. This is by Peter J. Tomasi and Doug Mahnke, and this issue explores the death of a beloved character, both his death and the aftermath, and the legacy that he leaves for those who survive him. It was a really touching, well done book, and it's going to be interesting to me to see if they leave this character dead, or what his death will ultimately mean. So if you're reading Final Crisis, this is pretty much a must pick up. It was a good read. Next we've got Detective Comics 846. This is by Paul Dini and Dustin Nguyen. And this is the R.I.P. Rest in Peace storyline continuing. But the big thing in it is that an old enemy resurfaces. And from the cover I'm not wrecking anything by saying that Hush shows up again. It was a really awesome story. I really enjoyed it. The art was only okay for me, but the story is a good reason to pick this one up. And last we've got B.P.R.D. The Warning #1 by Mike Mignola with John Arcudi and Guy Davis. With the movie coming up, we're going to see a lot of Hellboy stuff, and this is just another little mini-series. In this one, the team is hot on the trail of Martin Guilford, who is, I don't know, he's known by Pena pretty well, and he's a man who's after the secret to resurrection, and he may have already found it. Now, it was pretty interesting, but a little hard to read for sort of a non-B.P.R.D. regular reader, but I still found it really interesting, but I didn't really like the art at all, and it definitely wasn't flattering on Liz. But if you like Hellboy stuff, pick it up.
Hey folks, Jim here with this week's comic book reviews. First up, Transformers, All Hail Megatron #1 by Shane McCarthy and Guido Guidi. A year has passed since the Autobots have left Earth and Megatron has taken over. Meanwhile, on Cybertron, the Autobots weighed their options and their loss. Beautiful art by Guido Guidi. Great story by Shane McCarthy. I'm really impressed with this so far, so I'm looking forward to #2. Next up, Transformers Saga of the Allspark #1 by Simon Furman, Geoff Sr., and Nick Roche. In this issue, it focuses on Optimus and Megatron and the way the Allspark came to Earth. Unfortunately, the art by Geoff Sr. was utterly horrendous. The art by Nick Roche, great. Story by Simon Furman, great. But, as I said, the art by Geoff Sr., horrible. But if you're a Transformers fan, pick it up. Last but not least, Ninja High School #61. And Sora's godfather returns on her 17th birthday to take her as his own back to the demon world. But Anna and Ricky won't let him, so Sora has to make a choice. Another really well written and well drawn issue by Ben Dunn and Robbie B.P.R.D. I'm actually really impressed at where this series is going, so pick it up.